Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Got your guided notes ready? Awesome. Today we're embarking on a pretty fascinating journey straight into the brain of a computer. Have you ever wondered how programs actually remember things? Well, that's exactly what we're going to figure out together as we explore Python variables. Let's dive in.
So here's our roadmap for today. We'll look at the magic of memory, answer what is a variable, check out the assignment operator, go over variable naming rules, do a quick knowledge check, and wrap it all up with our big takeaway. All right, let's get into it.
Section 1, the magic of memory, or how programs remember. Okay, picture this. You're playing your absolute favorite video game, right? You just beat an impossibly tough boss and scored a massive new high score. You turn the game off, but when you boot it back up the next day, boom, your score is still right there. How does the game actually remember that score behind the scenes? Or think about your favorite app. How does it remember your username or password? It's like there's this invisible mechanic at work inside the software.
Well, the answer is variables. Yep, variables. They are the absolute core foundation of all programming. Without them, honestly, our software would just have complete amnesia. Which brings us to section 2, what exactly is a variable? The digital box. Here's the core definition, and you'll definitely want to jot this down in your notes. A variable is simply a container with a name that stores data. Honestly, the easiest way to think about it is like a digital box. You slap a label on the outside of the box, and you put your changing information inside. That way, the computer knows exactly where to go looking when it needs to find or update that information later.
So what kind of stuff can we actually stuff into this digital box? In Python, we can store a few fundamental data types. You'll want to note these down too. We've got integers, which are just whole numbers, like 10 or a -5. Then there are floats. Those are your decimal numbers, like 3.14. We also have strings, which is really just programmer speak for a text, like your name or a secret message. And finally, booleans. Those are super simple, true or false values. So whatever kind of data your program needs to remember, there is a variable box ready to hold it. Moving on to section 3, the assignment operator, or in plain English, putting data in the box. Okay, we know what a variable is, but how do we actually put our data into this digital box using Python? We use something called an assignment statement, and it breaks down into 3 really easy steps. Step 1 is the variable name. That's the label on the box. Step 2 is the equal sign. This is the action, the assignment operator that basically says, hey, take what's on the right and shove it in the box on the left. And step 3 is the data itself, the actual information going into the box. Let's look at a concrete example. You can copy this one right into your notes. Player_score equals 100. Now, a quick heads up here. In Python, that equal sign doesn't mean these two things are mathematically equal, like it does in math class. Nope, it's an action. It's telling the computer, take this integer data, 100, and place it into the variable box, labeled player_score. It really is that simple. All right, section 4, variable naming rules, labeling the box correctly. Just like your school has rules, Python has some pretty strict rules for naming these containers. And trust me, if you don't follow them, your code is going to break and throw an error. So here are the golden rules for naming variables in Python. First up, absolutely no spaces allowed whatsoever. If you put a space, Python gets totally confused and thinks you're talking about 2 separate things. Second, the name cannot start with a number. Just can't do it. And third, now this one is more of a really strong guideline than a hard law. Use clear, descriptive names. If your variable holds a score, name it score, not just the letter X. It makes your code way easier to read and fix later on. Let's look at a direct comparison to see this in action. A bad variable name would be first score. Why? Well, it starts with a number, which breaks rule 2, and it has a space, which totally breaks rule 1. A perfect Pythonic variable name is player_score. Notice that little underscore we used instead of a space? That is a super clever trick programmers use all the time to make names easy to read without breaking Python's strict no spaces rule. Section 5, quick knowledge check. Let's test your memory. Okay, it's time for a quick interactive check to make sure those naming conventions really stuck. Applying the hard rules we literally just went over, which of these is a valid Python variable name? Is it _, player score with a space, or player_ with an underscore? Take a couple of seconds to think about it. Did you pick player score with the underscore? If so, you nailed it. Just to quickly recap why. First score is out because it starts with a number, and player score is a no-go because of that space. But player underscore with the underscore, that follows every single rule perfectly. And finally, section 6, the big takeaway. Let's wrap this up. As we bring this explainer to a close, here is the absolute most important thought for you to hold on to. Variables are the foundation of all dynamic programming, period. Whether you're building a simple text-based game for class today, or you're coding the AI for a self-driving car 10 years from now, these digital boxes are the essential building blocks for literally everything you will create in Python. You simply can't build great software without them. So the big question I'll leave you with is this: what data will you store in your digital boxes? Thanks so much for exploring this with me, and happy coding.